Best practices, Google recommended schema markup. I think I've been doing it all wrong. I actually had to rethink and go back in and recreate a list of the recommended schema types, which ones to use, which extra data types to go ahead and use. And I really don't want you to make that same mistake. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to make my video, but I'm going to stream it because I'm in a rush. I didn't have time to write out the description and the tags and stuff. So I'm just going to stream it, do that stuff later. All right. So if you're seeing this, great. This is movie magic or video magic. In any case, here's what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and pop this in here like this. Make sure the color's looking all right. Could be better, could be worse, that's for sure. So in any case, here we are. So hello and good day. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. In today's schema markup video, what I'd love to share with you is the recommended data types to add into your schema markup. You know, WordPress plugins, even myself, I think we've been doing it wrong based on the recommendations that Google has clearly outlined on their site. I've gone to Google's website and taken a look at the 26 or 24 different types that actually give an enhancement. I've seen that. I've gone over it numerous times. What I didn't notice is underneath the example snippet, they actually give some clear recommendations on secondary data types that you need to add into the schema markup. So much so, I took it upon myself to recreate a brand new sheet that literally utilizes all the recommended secondary data types. So since I've been getting it wrong, since I made a new sheet, since we started adding extra in and it's recommended, I wanted to share my findings and what I'll be doing with you so you don't make the same mistake and you can get better SEO results. So with that being said, my name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. If you need another set of eyes, whether you're doing SEO, if you need consultation, services, proxies, backlinks, it doesn't matter, anything, I have you covered. Check out chrispalmer.org. We have services, consultation. You scroll down, I have some new, really great services, things like this right here, brand new, Haro, everything. Enough about me. Here's how I can help you. If you have time, head on over to Google. All right, I want to point this out to you because I've gone on here numerous times. And how I stumbled into this is there's been some new markup for discussions and forums, right? Because I've been looking for an angle to get into discussions and forums. And what I was trying to understand better was, is it a schema markup type? And yes, they've added a new schema markup type for forums and discussions. Have you seen this inside of SERPs? It's starting to pop up. This is what got me looking at, well, what specific data types are these companies using? Because when I go to a website that's ranking, for instance, like this, I look up best lawyer Houston. All right, I'll show you something. You scroll down the page, there's going to be discussions and forums. See this? Well, what type of schema markup are they utilizing? This is a powerful position to have. We can agree on this, right? First page, number 3 for best Houston, best lawyer. Anything best. So, of course, me being the SEO that I am, right? And it's clear to me that, hey, there's an opportunity here. How can we get to number 4 very easily? Well, this is how I got stumbled into this schema markup. I was trying to understand, well, how can we get in here? What schemas are they using? Because when you look at a website, any website, right? I'll take you over here real quick. I have a tool and you could do this manually, but this makes it a lot easier. You look at schema, they have none of the schema types that are recommended, right? Or any website for that matter. If I go into here, they might have 1 or 2. Here, I'll show you this schema. Look at, they have breadcrumbs, but they don't have the new data type. See how this schema is laid out? And what I realized is the recommended data types is not generally what these WordPress plugins have or what any of the competitors that I'm looking at have, right? And that's what got me looking at this. And I'll show you this right now, okay? If you look up Google structured data. They have a sheet that shows the schema markups that have an enhancement, right? Here, I'll show you this. This is their testing tool, but they have this right here that's going to showcase the enhancements. Okay, you're with me so far? Now, over here on the left-hand side, and I'm sure you've seen this, this is best practice, recommendations, a great data source, right? I'm sure you've been here numerous times. I have. This and the patents, delicious, right? But here, take a look at this. If we come inside of here, generate structured data with JavaScript, featured guides. See this list that's right here? These are the, in my opinion, the schema markups that matter the most. Every single WordPress plugin and every single generator online has these types, right? And when we take a look at organization, this is the one that I really got hung up on, and this is one of the ones that I really wanted to look at. When we take a look at organization and you scroll down the page, this is what I want to point out to you. This is the piece of information. I'm giving 2 tips today. One was the forums and discussions. Hey, there's a unique opportunity right now that you can get on the first page for a lot of really key keywords. That was the first piece of juice I wanted to give you. The second one is there's an opportunity to give more data that Google is recommending that you give them. And all these plugins are getting it wrong. I've been getting it wrong. I don't want you to, all right? I've changed our process. I literally told the girls, I talked to my brother this morning, like, hey, this is how we're going to do it. Gave them some examples. I rewrote it. I put it into a spreadsheet. I'm going to give the spreadsheet away on SEOmastermind.org in the actual video for this. I'll put it in the description, but I have a meeting I have to go to, so I'm doing this first. I'm going to chop it up, and then I'll give you guys the new list. I took out all the main recommendations. I digress. Let's take a look here. So this is generally what everyone will pull out, right? They have an example here. And if you take a look at this, I want to point this out. See, this is what every single plugin and everybody usually uses, right? Now you can get completely insane, like I've seen some people do, where it's pages and pages and pages and it won't even load, right? That's not what I like, because it's clear as day that there's only these types that actually get the enhancement, but then there's recommended secondary data types that Google will read and will give you an enhancement with, as long as it's within this list. So when you take a look at this, street, address, locality, country, postal code, region, right? This is some normal stuff. Now, what I want to point out is if you scroll down just a little bit more, there's technical guidelines, okay? And this right here is going to talk about the definitions of the secondary data types that are utilized within this schema. Okay, and stick with me till the end. I'll even share with you a very easy way that you can generate this yourself without using a generator. Well, it's a generator of sorts. Okay, if you scroll down just a little bit, as you can see, these are all of the types, secondary data types that need to be within your main type of schema, right? They have a name for it. What it's called is, give me a second here, recommended properties. Sorry, properties was the word I was looking for. See, if I'm going to make organizational schema, I need to have my name, alternate name, legal, description, logo, right? These are typical. URL, same as telephone, email, okay? Address, okay? This is the street address, locality, region, okay? Postal code, address, country, contact point. Look at this. Telephone number, email, employees, founding date, the ISO number, the Duns and Bradstreet number, the LEI code, right? The NAICS code, the global location number, the VAT ID, right? This was 6 more that generally are not added into schema. Like, yes, a couple of these I already knew about, right? Of course, but maybe you didn't. And this is what I want to share with you. You know, this on the left-hand side is all of the schema markups that Google is going to recognize and give enhancements for. Check. Now, these are the specific data types within that type that Google's going to give us an enhancement for. Okay, so when we're making organizational schema, we need to ask and say, hey, we also want to have these types inside of there. All right, and this is just one. Look at all these extras. Regardless of what you're looking at, let's take a look at local business. Check this out. This is another one that's near and dear to my heart. We utilize this a lot. Yes, on a lot of these, we are already using some, but these little secondaries, we haven't always been adding. And I want to make sure that we do. So again, we scroll down the page. You have your typical stuff in this format right here. And this is what a lot of people might use. But if we scroll down, I think it broke it down into individual types is how this did. But look at this. Here are the supported properties. There's required, and then there's recommended. Recommended properties. And I assure you that your plugins or how you've been creating them currently, unless you're just a wizard with this, you've always overlooked this. I guarantee it. I've looked at a lot of websites. The plugins are not doing all of the extra ones. Not all. Every single recommended data type. All right. So when we come inside of here, we have geolad, longitude, the menus. I don't know if that's relevant. Opening hours, specific location, opening hours specifically, specific location, open hours. Like, it gets insane through here. Reviews, price range, telephone, URLs, and it goes on and on. There's specific images, names, addresses. Every single one has secondary recommended enhancements that you can get and feed more information to Google, making you more relevant. That's going to be helpful. That's the point of this. That's today's video. Now, let me share with you, well, Chris, how do I deploy this? How do I implement it? I'm using a plugin, right? And maybe I don't want to. There are certain pages that I want to go above board. I want to show Google that, hey, I care, so they care about me. How do I do it? How can I make my life easier, Chris? Because we already know that the generators don't have this. I don't want to have to spend a bunch of money doing this. I don't want to have to hand code it. I don't want to have to learn Sublime or something crazy. I just want it. The easiest thing that I have found is this. If you have a account, which I'm sure you do, if you look up Google, not Bard, it's called Gemini. Google Gemini. Gemini is the upgraded version of Bard, okay? It's free. If you have a Google account, you can utilize this. And now all you need to do then, all right, if you want to do this yourself, is once you know the list of recommended types, okay, you can say, for instance, you grab your list right here. You say organization, okay? You grab all of your types that's down here. Name, alternate name, logo, right? Description. You probably want to leave out logo, but you grab the certain types and you pop over here to Bard, okay? Or Gemini, I should say. You open this up and you say, can you create me JSON LD organization schema, okay, including a logo, business address, like all the ones that you don't already have. Business address, give it the address. Business name, give it the name. Business, just go one by one down the list. Here's what I need inside of the schema, and here's the information. Here's what I need, here's the information. I want you to use the business address, 4211 3rd Street West, Lehigh Acres, Florida. That's my old address when I lived in Florida. I want you to use this slogan. I want you to use these geo coordinates. I want you to use this. I want you to use that, and it'll fill in the rest. And then you can even say, for all other data, please use example or dummy information. And I promise you, it'll spit it out. It'll be copy paste ready. Don't believe me? Here, watch. Let's go ahead and do this. Including business address, slogan, Chris is the best. Also, use all recommended organization data types with dummy information. Hopefully I didn't mess this up too much, but for the sake of time, because I have to run right after this, I just want to give you the blueprint. Say, hey, I need JSON LD organizational schema, including business address, slogan, Chris is the best. Also use recommended organization data types with dummy information in JSON LD format. Fill in all the types, fill in the information, and have them actually write it for you. It'll do it. Press your enter button, and it'll just start spitting it right out for you. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And then if it's missing a specific type, you just say, hey, please add this type to the above code, and it'll do it for you. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. I hope this is helpful. There's recommended types that we've been missing. There's different types. We want to make sure we get them in there. If there's an enhancement, what I mean by this is if it's in this list here, these are the only types that we're doing. This is what I want to use. And then if it's a recommended type, a text type that's within these recommended types right here, if it's a secondary data point and it's inside of a type that's in this list and I can add it, we're adding it. I hope this is helpful. I'll answer any little questions that we might have here. I have to be brief. No questions. Great. It's been an absolute pleasure. My name's Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. This is best SEO practices for Google recommended schema markup. Thank you so much for your time. And if you haven't already, I'm going over to SEO spring training. Hopefully we can see each other then. We'll be speaking there, going over some more tests. I'm going to get it really finite. I'm just going to pick out some of the best ones, but I look forward to seeing you there. I'm going to chop this video up, make it a little